Mike Manalo from the Nerds of Color on a very special day because I'm here with Gerard Butler for How to Train Your Dragon. How are you, Gerard?
You are so lucky.
I'm such a huge fan, and thank you so much for everything. This has been a character and a franchise that's been with me for such a long time. That original trilogy is literally one of the best trilogies in cinematic history, in my opinion. Every single one of them is good.
That's amazing.
And I have to say, as a fan of this franchise, knowing where things go with Stoic, there's a little bit of bittersweetness there, but did you ever think that you would be reprising the role in any other medium? And what was your reaction when Dean came to you and said, "We want you back"?
I used to imagine when I was doing the voice, because like I'm like a little boy, you know, my imagination goes. So I was like, what if I was there? Like, what if I was really making that speech to those Vikings? Or what if I was actually dealing with Hiccup right now? And what if I was doing that? What if I was in this world? And what if I was that size? But I'll be honest, never for a second did it cross my mind that they would be making a live action. Like, when I was done, I thought I was done. And I had a great time. But so when I heard that they were reprising it, it was definitely very kind of tantalizing. And but when I heard Dean was doing it, because Dean is the genius, the mastermind behind all of this, and I think that whatever he does touches gold, it turns to gold and touches so deep. So I'm like, yeah, I'm in. That's Dean, by the way, saying, yeah, thank you, Dean. He speaks to me as a light, and the community's like, well done, you said a nice thing.
That's how you know you guys have a good rapport. Just lights,
Like,
and you guys know
We
exactly
have
what you're
such a
talking
short
about.
ad that he doesn't even have to appear. He just comes as rays of light.
In the form of light. Oh my god. That's a good director with a god complex, basically.
Yeah.
No.
And by the way, but it's funny you say that because he has the least god complex I've ever met. I know you're not saying it, but I do love telling people that he was like a kid on this set. Like, one, he was brilliant and specific and knew what he wanted, but he also wasn't afraid to go, this is amazing. Look at this. And if he's thinking that, you know, and not worried about that, and then you're like, okay, I can let go and enjoy myself here.
I love that, and it comes across just on the screen, too. Like, this is a person that loves this franchise so much, and you could see it in every frame of this, in every performance. But speaking of the performances, this might be one of my favorite performances of yours in your legendary career. And the reason being is because...
I'm only in half the movie. I'm sorry.
No, more than that. You've done this character before, and yet you found new ways to bring him to life, to do different mannerisms, different inflections, and it feels so fresh, which is just astonishing for any actor to do. Can I ask, how did the live-action medium really give you those opportunities to take more risks and do stuff that was different versus what you were afforded when you did the animated voiceover stuff?
That's a great question, and thank you. I really like this performance too, and I think part of it is, yes, I have spent time with Stoic in the past, but like you say, I had to be super careful that I didn't just repeat a performance. I had to enjoy everything that I was given, the incredible costume, the incredible hair and makeup, the world that I stepped into, and being able to spend 12, 14 hours a day with this man. Every morning, 3 hours just in makeup, getting built into this character, spending time with him, experiencing how he moved, being able to change my voice different than the animated movie. And then a chance to play and go way more emotional and deeper into his own mythology, his own identity. I felt there was actually more powerful stuff with Stoic in the darker side in this movie than there was with the stuff that we know. That was great. I could give that a lot of color. But what really rips your heart out is when we see this man break apart. And up until then, it's like a held breath. You know, he's holding on. He's got nobody to talk to about this stuff. It's all on him, and it's a lot that he's grappling with. And I felt being able to be vulnerable and naked in that respect actually was my favorite part, and I think what is best about this Stoic.
Absolutely. Honestly, your approach to this and everything that Dean did, everything that the cast did, it's the reason why this movie is literally the greatest live-action remake to anything that's ever been done in cinematic history.
Is somebody writing this down?
I'm serious.
Oh my God, I'm going to steal all of this.
But Gerard, thank you so much for everything. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Okay.
Talking to the one and only legendary Nick Frost.
Hello.
For How to Train Your Dragon. I'm such a huge fan, sir.
Thank you.
Cornetto trilogy and now Gobber. You brought this character to life in a way that I didn't think would be possible in live action. So thank you so much.
Thank you for saying that.
One of my favorite things, honestly, about Gobber is just the interchangeable hands and everything like that.
Right.
And I have to ask, what was your favorite tool to potentially change out?
Well, we came up with the thumb. That was my idea. But the good thing about a film of this size is you casually say to someone, it'd be great if you had like a thumb that went up or down, and then like 4 days later they say, oh, can we just see if we can fit your thumb prosthetic, Nick? And you're like, oh wow, so you feel guilty because someone had to spend hundreds of dollars to make that. So I love the fact that he could have like a thumbs up and a thumbs down thumb. I thought that was great.
I love that you came up with that because we didn't see anything like that in the animated movie, and getting to see this in live action makes it so cool.
They were very pinchy.
Oh, really?
Because they had to use magnets.
Oh.
And so when you put them on, to get them to kind of have a nice click, they had to click on the magnets, but it meant the magnets were quite strong. So often I had like a weird red ring around my arm, which was a constant blood bruise.
Evidence that you suffer for your art, sir. Yes. That's what an actor does, of course. With Gobber's responsibilities on the island, he's got to train this new generation of Vikings, and that means that as a cast member, you had to spend the most time with the kids.
Yes.
Yeah. How was that for you? And did they play pranks? Was it fun?
Look, I mean, sometimes I think you get up and you go to work, and inside you feel like you did when you were in your 20s, And then you catch yourself in the mirror and you think, oh my God, I'm going to be dead soon. But then you get to hang out with the kids all day, and they don't have that feeling. They don't look in the mirror and feel that, and they're just joyous. They're joyous to be around, and they're fun, and they laugh a lot, and it rubs off on you. It's nice to hang out with those kids, and I think also when you kind of tie into that, they're great actors, and they have a great work ethic, and we can all get together in the mornings and we have a cuddle, and we're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do today to make this better? And they brought it every day. It was fantastic to be around.
The chemistry and the fun speaks for itself on camera too. My last question for you: they announced How to Train Your Dragon 2 at CinemaCon, which means we have the opportunity to explore even more of Gobber's backstory, and we get a little bit of it in the cartoons or the animated movies. But if we get a chance to explore this a lot more, where would you want to see the character go? And maybe a romance, because they insinuated about his preferences and everything like that in the movies.
I'd love him to meet a big beefy Viking man and get together and fly off on a huge beefy dragon together.
That would be rewarding for
That's
all
what
of
I
us.
need, yes.
I would love that so much.
Lectures, fanboys, professional artists, and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The